guys, and welcome to our review of Megalo Box episode 12. I'm your host, the Cinder Blaze, and today we have...
Stratos.
And Makotoa.
Alright, welcome back, guys. Now, this episode, I was really hyped for, going in from, episode 11, but this wasn't, the actual Yuri fight. It was a lot of, setup, and it kind of, tied up some of the loose ends, how did Joe and, Nambu meet, and what is Yuri's kind of backstory. We got little snippets of both of them, not didn't delve too much into the backstories, but I don't know, the overall feel of the episode really kind of,
It was definitely a Yuri focused episode.
yeah.
And it was well liked, well received by me. I was eating that up because it's humanized this character even more for us, and to see him risk a whole lot and give up everything else just for the chance to fight Joe one-on-one, without gear like that. An even fair match type thing. That's dedication. That's is that honor code. Oh man.
Yeah, and it's
he
not
wants
Yuri's a champion who wants to just keep on winning for the sake of winning, he actually really enjoys boxing as a sport, so that's why, he wants to enjoy that match against Joe as much as he possibly can.
Yeah.
Restating what his master said, and he's like, if you find, that person you want to beat with all your freaking might. I feel like if he did keep the gear on and he went into that fight, and even if he won or lost, he still wouldn't have felt like a real match, because you would have had the gear to kind of help him in the fight. But every time we've had Yuri, I've had mad respect for him. So I'm totally glad with what they're doing with the character. Jordan, you were awfully silent. You were really looking forward to the fight. Looking forward to a two-parter.
I pretty much sums up my feelings. I'm just alright, get the fight. This episode was good. I want to see the fight.
Now we gotta wait a week.
Yeah.
Just alright, I'm hoping for anything, even then stepping into a ring together, but no. But
Nope.
it was a really good episode in terms of setting up the characters more and helping you understand a bit more, because this episode at the very least showed that Yuri feel things other than smugness and determination.
Yeah.
Where you can just see him scream in agony for days on end. That was real fun.
It's not often we see Yuri Gaara injured,
Gar got stabbed slightly and just started crying in front of the entire arena. This guy, he just undergoes surgery and refuses to take the drugs afterwards.
Gosh, dude.
That's not the manliest way to do it.
X.
He still has some of that pride within him, which is kind of funny. But in that situation, just dude,
I won't be worthy.
Yeah.
And then another thing, obviously, Shirato.
Yeah.
She was a big part of this episode too.
Yeah, and I feel the focus on her was really necessary for the plot's sake, because going into the finals, it's not just a match about Yuri and Joe. The whole reason the Megalo Box tournament's even set up is to sell the integrated gears to the military and kind of for the Stratos company first and foremost. But now that she's kind of faced with a situation where her fighter, the representative, doesn't want to use the gear, she's like, what the I'd rather just cancel it. This isn't what this whole tournament was for. And when she kind of has that confrontation with Yuri, and they kind of delve a little bit into their relationship, and they're just talking about what about our future together, and I was like,
What future?
Yeah, that was really painful to see from her perspective, because she's kind of built up this bond ever since they kind of first met, and kind of carried this whole plan into action, and once it's about to be executed, everything's kind of falling apart, and she's kind of making that decision. She's well, do I go after like my dream, or do I, help him with his, or it's just it made like the whole like just the tournament itself a little bit more interesting. I feel it's not just like whatever tournament for tournament's sake and you just gotta fight because it's a boxing anime.
It's so personal. It's so personal. And like even seeing Joe's facial reaction, I should say, to when Shirito came by and was like, oh, by the way, he got rid of his gear just to fight you. Oh man. Oh, the dogs, man. The wild dog and then the wolf are gonna go at it this next episode.
Yeah. And like, right before that, he was just like playing around in the river, and the second he hears that, he goes back to practicing. And even though he just said just like, practicing anymore is not gonna really help me. But like him and Yuri are so excited for this fight that
Yep.
When we like show up to the boxing match, it's like, oh, sorry, I just stayed up all night just practicing. Kind of sore.
Oh my god.
And Yuri's like, well, I got my skin ripped off, so you're fighting me.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
Rick, I don't know what to think. I hope he has some time to recover, but dang.
He'll have plenty of time to recover.
In 5 days, he got his skin ripped off, and who knows what that would have done to his nervous system. Like, what if it just, like, creates some lag? Because, like, the body's expecting the gear to relay some of the information.
Oh my gosh.
I really doubt it, because they wouldn't keep out with that.
I mean, yeah, like, I doubt that's going to happen, just because it would make the final fight just a little bit more annoying.
I mean, Joe's already got to be, like, bruised and beat up already from every other fight he's done thus far. He's taking a beating. He's always peeing blood and all that jazz.
I knew you would reference that. Yeah. What do you guys think about Mikio, who surprisingly showed up this episode and was...
that was... As soon as Yuri walks up to his cabin, I'm like, what is this, Brokeback Mountain or something? Like, what are we doing here?
The sexual tension between those two was...
It was, yeah.
I feel like everyone in that series wants to screw Yuri to some extent.
Yeah.
But it's understandable.
Between the two fighters, actually, between all the Shirito siblings and Joe, even.
All two of them.
I don't know.
Yeah, like... I found it kind of funny that he was just like this hermit in the woods, kind of, and he's like, you have sought me for guidance or something like that, and he's like, come follow me onto the operating table.
I thought it was like, oh man, it's Yuri's family, because they're in some snowy place, and Yuri's in Russia. I'm like, oh, they went back to Russia, and Yuri's like, visiting his family. It's like, yeah, alright, take off my gear. This may go poorly. So, here's this will. That's what I expected. I was like, oh yeah, it's just Mikio's hanging out here in a log cabin. And
Just bring my dog.
His hairstyle completely changed, so I didn't actually even realize it was him at first.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dog was really, like... it was really distracting in a way, because I'm just like... I would expect him to be a little bit more, like, wild, but he's just like the most tame, calm-ass dog I've ever seen. Like, he sees Strato in his new place, just walks into the house and just makes it his territory. I'm like, oh, this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and I feel like that final kind of like rap at the end of the episode. Usually, I'm not a fan of rap, but in moments like these, I can really appreciate like the kind of like rhythm and kind of beat it kind of brings to the series, like especially for like Megalo Box. It just
it's tasteful rap.
Yeah, and I am so hyped for the fight now. So
yes.
Do you guys have any final thoughts for this episode before we kind of just go off?
There's not much to say really. This episode gave us like an insight on Yuri's feelings about this leading up into it, and where his goals really lie, and how they sort of diverted, or diverted is the correct word, I guess, from Shirito's goals and the goal of the company. Diverged. That's okay. Perfect. Yeah, and then her reactions throughout it about like finding out that Joe isn't even a legitimate fighter, and So now she has every right to potentially cancel the show without having to void any contract. So it's like it was all up to her, and then she still has a soft spot for Yuri and his drive, and so it seems like she's going to allow it to take place anyways. But it sucks because she's like, yeah, no, Yuri is no longer part of the Shirito, organization. And then she just like straight up farewell, brother. Like I'm never gonna see either of you again, probably. Goodbye.
I don't know. I feel like if she's driving around, she might just see him.
Yeah, but it's this like I'm done with you type thing,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like when Mikio kind of left after that fight, he was kind of done with the Shirado family too. And now that's just her just reciprocating the feeling. But yeah. I feel like that is it for us. This episode didn't really have like a lot. It was just kind of like, glossing the edges of the series, kind of like wrapping it up all nicely so we can have a really strong finale. And we're all looking forward to it. So, guys, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that other jazz. Check our description for all our social media links and that juicy Discord link as well. We'll catch you next time. Keep it juicy.
See ya.
Yeah.
I thought you fell asleep for a second, Jordan. Kind of freaked me out.
Don't worry. I will not do that. At least I'll woke up.
Yeah. That's why it was like more concerning.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay, someone developed narcolepsy. Unfortunate.